Hi everyone, I'm Terry.
And I'm Angel.
And we are coming to you today with the story that everyone has wanted to know. Angel's 60-day raw vegan journey, if you will. So it's been amazing for the last 60 days. So we put this question out to you guys a couple weeks ago, and we had an overwhelming number of responses as it relates to just weight loss and menopause and what do you eat and how do you stay motivated and so on and so forth. So we're going to go through all of that information. It's going to be a great interview. I got your questions written down, and Angel's going to tell her story, and I just can't wait. But before we start, I just want to say that I've seen the change since Angel went raw vegan for the last 60 days, just from the outside looking in. And I've been high raw, as you guys know. We can talk a little bit more about that later. But, our first show when we came back 3 or 4 weeks ago, we were talking about some of the, challenges that we've had over the year. And some of the things that, in particular, Angel had to deal with that were, considered, traumatic. And just having to deal with all of that. And making the decision to go raw not only helped her overcome those, personal battles, but just made her just so much more energetic and alive. And that's one of the reasons why I chose to go high raw. The one example was when Angel sprung out of the bed one morning because we're training for, you guys don't know this, but we're training for a 5K, a 10K, half marathon, a marathon, all in which we're going to do this year. So we're in the gym. 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning, and Angel jumped up out of bed, and I'm like, I'm trying to get up, and, no fogginess, no brain fog, no anything, just her energy level. And I was like, I really need to try this to see if I can get my energy level up. So, and that was the one thing that I noticed by going high raw vegan was that I can just spring out of bed. I don't have that just wanting to hit the snooze button for another 2 or 3 times. I just pop up and get ready to go. So that was something I noticed immediately.
Wow.
So I just want you to know.
You haven't shared that with me, honey.
I know. But I just want you guys to know, I've lived this 60-day journey with Angel. I've seen the transformation, which has been unbelievable. I can't wait to dig into some of these questions and just kind of, walk through what that journey has looked like for the last 60 days, just to give you guys an experience of what you have to look for, if you take on this challenge. So here we go. The first question. Tell us about your raw vegan journey. How did you start, and why did you start?
Okay, great. Well, I'm nervous. Oh my gosh, I'm not used to being nervous. I'm such a cook, and now I'm sitting here. So anyway, and we dressed for the occasion because we were so excited. So anyway, and I get to interview with the Mr. Terry Greer.
Thank you, baby.
So that's awesome. Anyhow. Why did I start? So I was hunting for something because I, like Terry said, had been going through a very traumatic time in my life, and it had gone for over a year, and I started to lose myself. My body literally started to shut down, and I started to feel like I didn't even know who I was anymore. I felt like it was affecting my relationship with Terry, even though he stays so strong for me and tells me, look, I love you for anything and everything. And he means that. And I put him to the test, and I didn't want to. You don't want to in your mind. And your mind is saying, I love this person and I love my family and I want to be close to people, but you can't. And it's hard to control. And the last thing I couldn't figure out if I was stressed or it was anxiety or where all of this was coming from. I knew the stem of it, but why it went on for so long. And I'm very strong in the person that I am,
Absolutely.
as you know. And
Absolutely.
I have such a strong partner that we can overcome almost anything. Because let me tell you, Terry and I have been through a lot in our relationship for many reasons. Right. I mean, there's the slew of reasons why we've been through so much, and for that we're bench pressing Mack trucks. We're strong. We have a bond that's unbreakable. And so to get into a rut like this was a lot for me. And I'm couldn't figure out what it was. And then once I got strong enough to actually speak to somebody about what's wrong with me after a lot of encouragement from Terry, not pushing, but gentle encouragement. It took me a long time. And then when I started to figure out what it was, then I just wanted to feel better and feel like myself. And so I started researching because I truly, truly, honestly believe that food is medicine. That there is things that people need to take pharmaceutical medicines for, but that is not for me in this case. So I started researching what types of foods, and obviously a whole food plant-based diet is a big thing, but cutting out some of the other things that maybe could cause some free radicals in my body or have some of the toxins in my body taken out. So I just said, okay, I'm gonna do this raw vegan. I don't mean to sound like I'm ignorant, but I didn't even know it was a thing. I had no idea. I thought, when people eat raw food, they eat raw fish and sushi and things like that.
Exactly.
And so I don't mean to sound ignorant. I'm just being honest. And so I did
neither did I. Neither did I until you brought it to my attention. So, and I'm sure a lot of people in the audience, it may be new to them as well. So.
Yeah, but I noticed through a lot of your comments that a lot of people are pretty educated on it. It's so cool. So me, I'm a student by nature, and I went and educated myself crazily. And I said to Terry, I think this is for me. I'm gonna go raw. I'm gonna go raw. And he was like, what does that mean? And I said, everything I put into my body is going to be living. I'm only going to put living things into my body, and I'm confident that this is going to help me. This is going to break the chain. And I'm telling you, I swear to you, within 24 hours, I felt different. 24 hours. That's how quick it was. And I have only whole food plant-based foods in my house, and a lot of salads and things like that, greens and what have you. But at the time when I decided to do it, it was like a Friday night and I was going into a Saturday. And it was time to go to the grocery store. So I said, well, I'm going to start my day off tomorrow morning with a big, gigantic bowl of fruit. And I didn't have a lot of fresh fruit left because the whole week had expired by then. So I just took some frozen mango out of my freezer and some frozen wild blueberries and dumped them in a bowl and let them thaw, and I ate it. And I'm telling you, it just was delicious. And from there, it's been crazy. I remember that first meal of those. Remember, because I kept trying to feed you. I was like, this is delicious, Terry. You need to. I kept trying to feed you as usual.
Exactly.
Right?
And I'm eating my oats and my oat milk and so on and so forth, but it was delicious. But also at the same time, let me let everyone know, at the time she decided that she wanted to go raw, she also said, you know what? I think we should run a marathon.
Yeah.
And I said, okay. But before we run a marathon, we're going to run a 5K, a 10K, a half marathon, and we're going to build up to a marathon.
You know me,
so that's
I was
what
just
we're doing.
going right for the marathon, and I'm not even a runner. So it's like,
so constantly challenging each other, constantly pushing each other. So no, that was great, babe.
So that's really why I started. You had asked me 2 questions, honey. Why did you start?
Yep. Tell us about your raw food journey. How did you start? And how did you start? And I guess you kind of touched how you started.
Listen, I think the most important message here is it's all in your mind. The mind is so powerful. I don't care who you are, what situation you're in. Your mind is the ruler. And once you make your mind up, there is nobody, nothing in this world that can stop you. But you have to make your mind up.
Sure.
Mm-hmm. You just, and I made my mind up that I needed to feel better, and I was willing to, do anything to feel better. And I made my mind up, and nothing was going to stop me. And I don't mean to sound like it was easy or be cavalier about it, but it just felt that way. And I think because I've lived a whole food plant-based lifestyle, and so I wasn't coming off of dairy and meat
Right.
and things like that. So I wasn't coming off of that. I was just coming off of some of the things that I didn't realize that I was craving so much, which are bread, even if they are whole wheat or whole grain. Craving for the bread, it's the craving for the sugar, craving for a lot of pasta, even if it's whole grain. And I'm not saying don't eat whole grain bread and don't eat whole grain pasta. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying for me, I needed to moderate that. And then, to tell you the honest to God's truth, over that year's time, I put on 12 pounds. That's a lot of weight for me. And so feeling bad and then putting on 12 pounds and then my clothes are tight, it was just like a landslide.
Yeah. It was a lot. And I was going to say, I mean, to your point, you were trying to get over something, personally as a challenge,
Yes.
physically, mentally.
So and trying to figure out what it was.
Exactly. Exactly.
How do we overcome this? And I feel like I'm a strong person and I felt weak. And I'll tell you, those 12 pounds, I thought the 12 pounds came from, okay, here we go. I guess I'm starting to go through premenopause. We're going to get very personal here, so put on your seatbelt. I guess I'm starting to go through premenopause because sometimes I'm getting my menstrual cycle, sometimes I'm not. Sometimes it's coming and it's 3 weeks, but it's not that much. And then sometimes it's gone for a couple months. So I guess it's premenopause. So I just was like, my body probably had a smaller metabolism, and now I'm 51 and premenopause, and now I'm just going to start gaining weight, and that's the way it has to be, right? And that wasn't sitting well with me either, because it's like you don't have to just say, oh, it's menopause, oh, I'm 51, or I'm whatever my age is. It doesn't have to be that way. I think we just do that in our minds.
Sure.
And then I started craving things like too many tortilla chips. You can have too much of a good thing, right?
Sure.
Too many tortilla chips, too much whole wheat bread, too much pasta. I wanted to comfort myself with those types of carbs.
Even though they were healthy, and again,
Even
whole
though they
food,
were
plant-based.
right.
Yeah,
But
gotcha.
just eating those a lot of time and more than I should have been eating with like a 50-50 plate, because I was definitely stress eating, and I knew it when I was doing it. Then after I was doing it, then I was feeling really bad about myself. Then the scale started to go up. It was just bad, guys.
Yeah, it was. But hey, road to recovery.
Yes.
She looks fantastic.
Oh,
She feels fantastic. So let's move on to the next question. Okay. Tell us what you eat in a day.
Okay.
And what are some of your meal options that you that we're going to be sharing with you guys, but that you prepare.
All right, so this is very exciting. So Terry and I both work two very demanding jobs, and we're really busy, as I'm sure all of you are, with families and children and just everything, and demanding jobs. That we're all in the same boat here. So when I eat a breakfast and lunch, it's something that I know I'm going to have. It's easy for me. So, and I don't necessarily practice intermittent fasting, but I think it is good for some of the things in the body for you. So we can get into that another time, intermittent fasting. But I don't necessarily practice it, and I'm not hardcore. But sometimes I'll say, well, if I'm not hungry until 11 or 12 o'clock, I'm not going to eat until 11 or 12 o'clock. But if I'm hungry at 10 a.m., I eat. I'm not like, oh my gosh, it's noon. It's not noon. I'm going to sit here and starve for the next 2 hours. But I do try to regulate my body and say, well, let's see if I can have that breakfast meal. And I still call it breakfast because I'm still having breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Like, I'm not going to gyp myself. I want to eat. I love eating. So, and food is important to me. I love food as part of my culture, and I love it, and I love to eat, and that's just the way it is.
Right.
So, a lot of times I'll have breakfast maybe around 11 or 12, but if I'm hungry, I'll eat at 9 or 10 or whatever it is. I am not a good hungry person, and I'm not hungry. So when I eat in the morning, I like to eat a lot of fresh fruit. So I do cut up a lot of fresh fruit. I didn't even realize you can get so many yummy watermelons in the wintertime. It's odd, but I'm getting knock on wood, a lot of good watermelon.
Mm-hmm.
So I cut up watermelon, I cut up mangoes, strawberries, grapes, any kind of fruit I love. I don't
Mango,
worry.
papaya.
Yes, papaya. I started eating papaya. We got to talk about papaya one day because I've never been a big papaya eater. But the value of what you're getting when you're eating papaya, it blows your mind. It's almost buttery when you eat it.
Yes,
so I got Terry eating papaya. I was like, you have to eat this. It's good for you. Oh my goodness.
I like it.
It's good. You have to get used to it, right?
Sure.
So, and it's easy to cut up. So all the types of fruits, I do not worry about, ooh, this has a lot of sugar. That cracks me up. Like you'll see somebody with all this processed food in their cart and they see you with all your fruit and it's like, oh, that's a lot of sugar. It's like, okay.
As they go to pick up their prescription.
Yes, right, exactly. So I don't worry about that. I eat it. A lot of studies have been done on people that are diabetic and that it's okay too when they eat raw diets to indulge in fruit. So there's a lot of studies on it, so check it out. So I eat a lot of fruit. If I don't feel like having fruit, I'll have a big salad maybe with fruit on it. For lunch, I love salad for lunch. It's one of my favorite things. I like salad with some nuts or seeds. I actually like the seeds and just the crunch and all of that.
Right.
I have the homemade dressings that I make. If I'm on the run, I bring it with me. And if I don't, if I forget, I just get a salad and I'll squeeze lemon on it. Or some kind of vinegar. There's never a reason why I'm going to go hungry.
And we are the car picnic
experts.
We
love car picnicking.
Love car picnics.
Yes.
So, right, babe?
Oh my gosh.
Especially on the
picnics
weekends.
Are so fun. So we love them. Anyway, that's weird. I know we're awkward, but it's fun, right, honey?
Absolutely.
So, and then for dinner, it's always something different. So if somebody asked, do you eat salad all the time and even for dinner? No, absolutely no. So dinner is always something different. I am very creative at dinner time. I have so much fun in the kitchen. It's just ridiculous. And the food, I mean, you get like so much dopamine, right? Endorphins from eating things that make you excited and happy, which oftentimes comes from sugar and chocolate and pasta and bread and things like that. But we are getting it from these meals that I'm making. So whether it's sushi or chili,
tacos.
We're eating a lot of Mexican cuisine.
Yes.
We're eating a lot of Asian cuisine. We're eating a lot of Italian cuisine. And we're eating a lot of sort of angel cuisine because just things I'm just mixing together.
Right.
And it's fun. And I'm telling you, we haven't had a bad meal. And then I'm trying to incorporate some warmer foods for Terry, but he doesn't want it. He is really enjoying these meals. So usually when Terry has his meals, and we're going to do a separate video on high raw, so Terry can talk to you about his changes and everything. So stay tuned for that because we are going to do that.
Right.
But Terry usually has more of a warmer meal at lunchtime because that's when he noticed that he enjoys eating that the most. So that's just his preference. But anyway, you can talk about that.
Absolutely. Awesome, babe. Awesome.
So I want to say that all kinds of variety, and it's very important. I do keep dates in my fridge or even dried figs. Hi, Mom. I know you love figs. So I keep them in my fridge. And if I get sort of an afternoon, I want something sweet or what have you, and maybe I don't want to peel an orange or I'm in a rush, I grab a few dates and I eat them. I swear to you not, it tastes like candy. I have all of a sudden become this date freak. And so, or anything like that. So I eat those and it doesn't affect my weight or my diet in any kind of way. I'm never hungry. So it's pretty
Well, that's
amazing.
awesome. And like I said, the neat thing about, kind of what we eat for dinner, and it's just a variety, it'll be a lot of the stuff we'll be sharing with you guys over the coming weeks. So I'm excited about that.
I just made something really cool yesterday. We got to do a video.
Oh my God, I can't wait. I can't wait. All right, here's the good one. Okay, how do you stay motivated?
Oh my gosh. Probably the motivation is probably the easiest part because like I told you, after 24 hours, I felt different than I had felt in a year. And it wasn't like, I'm not saying overnight I woke up and I was like, all life's problems are solved. But I knew I felt different and it was overwhelming. And then after I would say after about maybe 3 days, 4 at the max, my cravings for bread, salt-free pretzels, tortilla chips,
Pasta.
whatever, they were gone. And I swear to you, I am not making this up. I am on 60 days and they're not there. I'm like, where are you? Because I've been dealing with that my whole life, trying to eat that stuff in moderation. Those cravings went away in 3 or 4 days. Your body does go through a detox process. So for me, it wasn't that bad. But I do know some people will break out even when they're older and you're not supposed to be getting pimples and things anymore. But it's just your body detoxing. It's actually a good thing. The bathroom is a trip for the first 2 weeks because your body is cleaning out. It's not painful. It doesn't feel like, oh my gosh, I got to run to the bathroom, like those cramps that you get. It doesn't feel anything like that, but your body is eliminating a lot. It is getting rid of all the toxins and things in your intestines. And it actually is great. It feels great. I mean, I don't mean to be gross. I know I'm a girl, but I know this is crazy what I'm about to say, honey. Hold on to yourself. Your poop doesn't smell. Like, how does your poop not smell? That's just crazy. Like, after a while, so whatever. I mean, sorry if that was too much information. But so what I got is I started to get a high off of this energy. And whole food plant-based makes you fog-free and have so much clarity. But raw brings it up to the next level. I was able, when I was going through my traumatic time, I couldn't make a decision to save my life. I mean, little decisions. Terry was having to do all the thinking, everything. Thank God he did. He's so wonderful. But I was like making decisions, big decisions, whether it was at work or at home, and let's do this and let's do that. And like Terry said, I'm tired at night, I go to sleep. I finally started sleeping at night.
Right.
I haven't slept at night and I can't tell you how long. Go to sleep for 2 hours.
That's a big thing. We moved our sleeping time, up. We're in the bed by 10 o'clock because we're getting up early too.
That's a big deal.
That is a big deal for us.
To be in the bed by 10 o'clock. So, right. But when I'm tired at night, I go down and I sleep. And my dreams are vivid and amazing. And I don't have all those demons coming and, past stuff that gets all in your head. None of that stuff. And I'm bouncing out of bed in the morning at 5 a.m. And I'm not like a jackrabbit or anything, but I feel good. And then 5 minutes after I'm up, I'm ready to go. And I never felt, and I'm energetic all day long. I don't have brain fog. I'm thinking clearly. I mean, I could just talk to you about this for 3 hours. So,
and coming from whole food plant-based,
yes,
and already, being on a high level, feeling great.
Way. Yes,
like you said, you just kind of took it to the next level.
It was almost like you could see over the cliff, and sky was the limit. I mean, it's a high. I'm high all day, and I've never done drugs, but this is what I know it feels like. This is so great. And so it's not even about motivation. I made my mind up that I want to be healthy and I want to be better and I want to live a long, happy, healthy life. So that was what I had to do. And I decided I'm getting up tomorrow morning and I'm doing this. And I did it. But then after 24 hours and then after 48 and 72, and it kept getting better and better and better. And now I'm on day 60 and it's just like incredible. It's incredible. It's amazing. This is not a sacrifice. And
I've seen it from the outside, like I said, and it's been remarkable. And again, that was one of the reasons why I adopted a high raw diet. All right, awesome.
I'm sorry, I'm going on and on. I'm so
excited.
No,
I think everyone loves it. So, what advice would you give someone wanting to go raw vegan?
Okay, well, a couple things. You can either, if you wanted to go 100% raw vegan, you can just go and you will see the changes so quickly that it will become easy for you to incorporate it, okay? But Another thing you can do is try with one meal. Like when Terry first said, right away, he was like, I want to support you. I'm like, honey, you do support me. We eat whole food, plant-based. We eat a wonderful lifestyle. You already do support me. No, I want to support you more. And plus, if I can get some good benefit out of it, I'll take it, right? In a selfish way. I love it. So he started eating one raw meal a day, and then it quickly went up to 2. Mm-hmm. And then he was like, this is great. So I would start with that one meal a day and being really intentional about it. Intentional. This is the meal I eat every day. It's raw. I'm going to be intentional about it, and nothing's going to get in my way.
Exactly.
And then start to see how you feel from that. And then perhaps it could be your meals. And if you have snacks throughout the day, those could be raw snacks because there's raw snacks all over the place.
So that's a good point, honey. So you're saying, hey, look, you went raw. You put you said, look, put a stake in the ground. I'm going raw from this day forward. But you don't necessarily have to do that.
Of course
you can just take
not.
baby steps.
Yes.
Run, walk, crawl, or crawl, walk, run.
Walk, absolutely. Anything you can do. Now, if you're currently eating meat and dairy, that really needs to be a focus for you because, look, 90% of cardiovascular disease can be prevented through food. 90%. Just think about that. Do research on the billions of people right now sick and dying from the foods that we eat. So need to get away from dairy and meat. If anything, the best that you can, or cut it down to 2 or 3 days a week or what have you. And what's astonishing to me, and because I've dealt with so much cancer in my family and my life, is that 60% of cancer can be prevented through lifestyle. So 90% of cardiovascular disease, 60% of cancer. So if you're on a standard American diet right now, just please try to do something to get away from the dairy. And I know how addicting cheese is. It was my #1 food group. #1. I mean, I wish I could be there with you. And some of the things that I think are stopping people are their spouses. I read some things about spouses that I was sad. Spouses and families that don't support people that are energetic around this. And here's my advice around that. When Terry and I don't see eye to eye on stuff, and it is rare because we are very aligned, but believe me, there are times when we don't see eye to eye on stuff. It's either Terry that is motivated about something or passionate about something and I'm not bought in, or vice versa. And we both do the same thing. We sit down with one another and explain, this is important to me. This is why this is important to me. You're the most important person in my life. You love me more than anything. And I need your support here. It doesn't mean you have to walk the whole walk with me, but it means I need you behind me, cheering me on, because this is important to me and this is important to my life.
Absolutely.
And I cannot stress that enough, that I would sit down with my spouse, my loved ones, and I would say, I want to be here for a long time. I want to live a long, happy quality of life. I don't want to wait for a doctor to tell me that I'm sick. Right. To make a change. I don't want to wait for that. I just want to do it now and feel great.
Right.
And live a life and go and travel and do all this wonderful stuff. And I need you to support me. And you should be able to get support that way if that's your person. There's no reason why. Love is not sabotage. I'm sorry, but some relationships and some friends that I have and their spouses, and I don't know what it is or why you would want to sabotage somebody. That's not love. I don't know if that's jealousy. I don't know if there's issues in the relationship, trust issues. I don't know what it is, but I would say you need to sit down and you need to get past that and just say, you love me and I love you. Support me.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well said, babe. I couldn't have said it any better myself. All right. Here's a good one as well. What are some of the changes you've seen, positive or negative? We've kind of talked about a lot of the positive changes. What about some of the negative changes?
I I'm finally speechless. Okay. I have not had any negative changes. I went through some negativity when I went through the whole food plant-based lifestyle with outside friends and things that just can understand or what have you, and that's okay. But with this, it just has been very, very positive, and I'm so driven, and my mind is so made up. And I'm finding that I can do this no matter what, and I can find things no matter what because it's important to me. And so, can you think of anything that's been negative, honey?
I can't. I mean, it's a great question. I can't think of anything that's been negative. To your point, when we started Whole Food Plant-Based and, told our families what we were doing, and, we met some resistance. Not everyone was on board.
Yeah.
But with our love and our bond and our connection with one another and working together and supporting one another, and then people seeing that and us, wanting to share that through our channel, no one even questions it now. They're on board, or even if they're not on board, they don't really say anything about it.
They just
and they
support
encourage us,
Like,
and they
you
support
guys
us.
look great, and yeah.
Exactly. So, no, I can't think of anything that's been negative.
It hasn't been negative. Just the cleansing of my body has been really incredible. It just feels so good to have your body cleansed.
Some people may think the preparation of the food, because there's a lot of cutting and dicing and so on and so forth, that could be negative.
Fair.
But if you think about it, we have fun with it.
Yeah.
We do it together. It's an activity. There's a lot of food prep.
But
the health benefits behind it far outweigh the time that you're taking to prepare your food. And I always tell Angel, the time we're taking to prepare our food and that extra time we're taking to prepare our food, rather than taking it out of a box and putting it in, an oven or a stovetop and so on and so forth, that's that extra time we're not going to have to spend in the waiting room of doctor's offices or in lines for medication at pharmacies and so on and so forth. So to me, it's a balance.
And we munch the food while we're cutting.
Exactly.
But you know what? That is such a great point, honey. Thank you. See, I knew Terry could think of something. So, but even my mom, she bought us this little thing like for chopping, because you can find shortcuts. You can start to put stuff through your food processor if you're in a hurry, with the little round blade thing on the top. I do that sometimes. Plus, Mom bought us this thing. It's like a little lawnmower. It's in it's a round container. You put onions or whatever kind of vegetables you want to chop. You put the lid on and you pull the thing.
Yeah.
And it's like a little lawnmower, and
slices and dices up the
So
stuff.
Terry uses that a lot.
Yeah.
And that's nice too. So we found little shortcuts with that. But
Exactly.
It does take planning and preparation. Or you could just eat plain fruit that you can just peel or just wash and eat too, and that's quick.
Exactly. So
it's been very positive though. The positives I can talk to you about all day. I mean, like I said, just when you thought your mental clarity was that, it's just, and the energy and just, it's just incredible.
It is. And you kind of hit the cravings, you hit the support. What do you do? What if you do if you don't have the support at home? You kind of hit that one. I don't know if you want to talk any more about that. I mean, I think you kind of touched on it.
I think that's the most important thing. Start with a conversation, really. Start with a conversation and ask for support from the people that love you and that are part of your life. I need your support here. I want to be happy and healthy. I can't understand why anybody or a loved one would not want you to be at your best or feel your best or be the healthiest you can be, or
extending your life. You could be extending your life 10, 15, 20 years. That's more time to spend with the people you love.
Exactly. And then having a healthy relationship, right? Because healthy relationships, like I said, are not sabotaged. That's not a healthy relationship.
Right.
Coming in front of your loved one with things that they crave the most and saying, "Oh, isn't this good?" or "Isn't that's unkind." That is just mean. I don't know. I'm going to get angry, so I won't talk about it. Okay.
All right. How much weight did you lose?
Oh my gosh. So I told you that I gained 12 pounds, and it was very traumatic on top of my trauma and whatever. And so I lost 18 pounds.
Woohoo!
I cannot, I mean, it's crazy. And I didn't do it for the weight. So that just makes it
A
so
bonus.
much a bonus. I'm like, where the hell did my back fat go? Anyway, so 18 pounds, but it's a healthy 18 pounds. And I got to tell you, because people are probably like, well, Angel, you lost 18 pounds because you're up in the gym at 5 a.m. No. I get up and I'm trying to train myself for running. I'm doing a lot of walking. I'm not a runner. Terry's a runner. I'm doing the best I can. So most of these runs that we're going to do will be part walk, part run, a lot more walk, a little bit of run, a lot more walk. But we'll get through them. But Terry said, honey, you got to start weight training, and not heavy weights, not, bodybuilder or what have you, but you got to start weight training because it'll really start to regulate and help
Tone
you
your
feel,
muscles.
tone your muscles, help
Build
you feel
muscle
better.
endurance,
yes,
strength.
everything. And he was like strengthening your core and all that kind of stuff. And so I was like cardio. And it's not true. We do weight training, and it almost seems easy because I can breathe, but it's just some stress on your muscles. And I only lift weights that I can lift, and I don't try to go crazy. That weight training has made the weight fall off. And it's like, are you kidding me? Why haven't I done weight training?
And again, not heavy weights, light weights,
Yes.
multiple reps.
Yes. I mean, sometimes I'll use 3-pound weights. I do them all, and then I'll work up to 5. The next ones will be 5 pounds. Then I might go to 7.5 or 10, just depending on what the exercise is. But I'm not lifting 20 and 30 pounds or what have you. I'm just, it has made the weight like, are you ready for this? No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Oh my gosh. Anyway, it has just been, I lost the 12 pounds that I gained, which is really just a blessing. 51, premenopause, all the things I have going on, boom, it was gone. And I know your mind has your body has a memory. But then to get that 6 extra pounds, and I'm only on day 60, so
Right.
What's happening? But I don't feel too thin. I just feel vibrant and alive. And I'm not the best person to love myself. I'm very critical of myself. It's just how I am. It's just part of who I am. But trying to start to like myself more and appreciate those things has been really great. So,
Well,
I don't know.
I mean, that's the last question here. You've talked through a lot. I mean, you've taken them from your start of your journey through 60 days, where you are now. Some of the health challenges that you had to deal with in terms of trying to get over some of the trauma and some of the difficult things that you faced. Anything else you want to share with anyone, babe?
With you, you always have been just my angel, and you're just amazing, and you support me in everything that I do, and you supported me in some of the worst times in my life and through some of the challenges that we had, and you're my rock.
Oh, thank you, babe.
And to have my
So are
rock and to be this way and to see Terry. And so we are going to come back. So thank you, honey. I love you so much.
I love you too, babe.
So we are going to come back, and Terry is going to talk to you about a high raw diet. So a high raw diet is when you eat more than 50% of your food every day raw. So if you eat 51% raw, up to whatever, you're high raw.
Right.
So Terry is high raw, and he would like to come back and talk to you about that. So if you have questions for Terry on his high raw discussion,
Put them in the chat.
put them in the chat. And I'm sorry if this video went too long, but this is important, and I want to share. When you asked about the weight loss, I think the first week I lost like 5 or 6 pounds, and I know some of it was probably water weight or whatever, but I love Terry. He's like, and it's hard for a little lady to lose weight. I mean, he just says all the nicest things, but yes, it's just, this is incredible. Do it for 7 days and eat your whole food plant-based lifestyle.
And
Do
let
it
us
for
know.
14 days.
Let us know how you feel.
Yes.
Let us know how you make out.
7 days, right? Because in the first 24 hours, you're going to feel different. Within 3 to 4 days maximum, all your cravings are going to go away. I stopped drinking coffee. I don't miss coffee. I don't care about coffee. Nothing. Nothing. I don't drink alcohol. I feel great, and it's not a sacrifice.
It's not. It's not.
All right, sorry
not.
guys. I'm
Well, hey,
going
look.
on and on. I'm so excited.
You asked for it. You got it. I mean, this was amazing. If you like the show, like us. If you like the show, subscribe. We had a great time, and we just hope you guys enjoyed it. So we love you guys. Take care.
Bye-bye.